Hello everyone, myself Deepak, and today we'll discuss few of the count functions in Excel. Now let's first take simple count function. This function is used to count number of cells having numeric values. Click on this function, search for count, and OK. Now it says that it counts the number of cells in a range that contains numbers. Now for example, here I give the range from E6 to E13. Now my range is E6 to E13. Now what this function will do, this count function will search from this range to this range, whatever the range we have given, that if this cell has a number or not. If yes, it will consider. Now it will check this, whether this cell has number or not. If yes, it will consider, and so on. Right? Now my range is E6 to E13. Now if we put here -1, this will also consider. Yes. We will take consider this -1 as a number. If we put values in decimal, this will be also consider. As soon as I put a blank, now this will not consider. Or if I put some text, this will not consider. You can see the result. Fine. So yeah. So you can say count function is used to count number of cells which having numeric values. So like here I have given the range E6 to E13 from here to here. So this function is doing what? It's searching one by one each and every cell, and it will consider that cell, or you can say it will count that cell only when that cell have any numbers. Now numbers can be positive values, they can have negative values, or they can have decimal values. Fine. But if they have anything else, like they have text, or they have blank values, or an empty cell, then it will not consider. Fine. Now take another function which is count a. Count a function is used to count non-empty cells. Count a. You can go select that function. Okay. Now it says that it counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. So I select the range from C6 to C13. So now what this function will do, what is the range? C6 to C13. That is from this cell to this cell. It will check one by one each and every cell, that whether that cell has any value or not. If that cell has any value, it will consider. Like here, each and every cell has any value, have any value. That way, it will consider. Now, for example, I will remove this. See, your result is changed, because now what happened from this cell to this cell, from this range to this cell was ignored because this cell is empty. Now, if I remove here also, again see, fine, got it. Now I put here some blank spaces. Still you have 8. Why? Because blank space also consider that it has any value. Okay. Now let's copy this formula, copy count A for a numeric values for this. Now my range is from E6 to E13. Here also count A function is doing what? It is checking from this range to this range. That is one by one it is checking each and every cell, that whether that cell has any value or not. If that cell has any value, whether that value is number, text, numbers and negative values, numbers and decimal values, whatever, and it will be considered. As soon as you put some, you remove the value, totally you remove the value without any blank space, then see, from this range to this range, it ignores this cell. That's why you get result 7. But here also, if you put some white spaces, it will be considered. Fine, because white space means some blank text are there. Okay, count a function is clear. So count a function you can use to count non-empty cells, and that range, whatever the range you have given, can have any kind of value. It will be considered. But if that in that range for any particular cell you have put nothing like here, then it will not consider. Now take an example. Now you want to count empty cells. Count A was used to count non-empty cells. Now you want to count how many empty cells are there. So you can use count blank function. This search for and select the function. Okay. It says that it counts the number of empty cells in a specified range of cells. Now I select the range C6 to C30 and click on OK. It gives you 0. Why? Because from this range to this range, there is no cell which is empty. That's why you get a 0. Now if I click remove this, see you get 1. I remove this, you get 2. Because from this range to this range, there are 2 cells where you don't have any values. That's why count blank has 2. In this also, if instead of text you some put some white spaces, it will consider that this cell also containing some values. Fine, that's why you get 0 here. Now let's copy this formula of count blank for numeric things. Now here my range is E6 to E13. Again, count blank will do what? It will check from this range to this range. One by one, each and every cell will be checked. And if that cell having any blank value, like here, it will be considered. If there is no blank value, it will not consider. Because from this range to this range, every cell has some value, that's why you get 0 here. Similarly, here also, if you put some blank spaces, it will not consider. Fine. So count blank is also clear. That count blank used to this function is used to count empty cells in a given range. Now, take an example. You have a requirement to count number of cells based on some condition. Like if we have Dell laptop here in this column, if we have Dell laptop, then only count, else ignore. So here you can use count if function. Right? This count if select the count if function, click on OK. Now it says that counts the number of cells within a range that meets the given condition. Now my ranges will be what? Where I need to check the value. I need to check value from D6 to D30. Now criteria will be what need to be checked. Del lap top. Click on OK. You get the result 4. Why? Because from this range to this range, it will check whether you have Dell laptop here or not. If yes, then it will consider. Then it will check for this. If you have Dell laptop or not. No, this will be ignored. Then here again it will check whether you have Dell laptop or not. Yes. If yes, then it will consider. So 1 plus 1, 2, and so on. It will done from here to here. So if you see here 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 places where you have Dell laptop in this range. That's why your total result is 4. Fine. Now just remember one thing in count a function. This thing is non-case sensitive, means if I write here Dell laptop in capital also, then also it will be one of the same thing. Or if I write here Dell laptop in capital letter, then also it will be one of the same thing. Fine, got it. Now what if you need to find, you will need to count cells based on more than one condition. If based on one condition you need to find, you need to count, you can use COUNTIF. Now, here our requirement is that we need to count cells based on more than one condition. Say for example, the laptop should be Dell laptop and the quantity should be greater than equal to 25. Then what? Then you can use count if s function. Fine. Count if s function. Okay. Now, what will the first criteria? First, it what it says. It says that it counts the number of cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. Now, what will be the first criteria? I need to search the laptop where in D6 to D13. Fine. Then criteria will be what need to be searched? Dell laptop. Fine. Now, what will the second condition? Quantity. So, what will be its range? It will range from E6 to E13. Fine. What will the criteria? The value should be greater than or equal to 25. Okay, you get the result 3. So why? How? Basically, if you see in count if s function, you have two conditions. One is this, that you're checking in D6 to D13 Dell laptop, and then second is this, that is you're checking the value should be greater than or equal to 25 in E6 to E13. So now count function says that both of these conditions should be true to be considered. Now let's see here. You have Dell laptop, true, but here the value is not greater than 25, so it's false. So true, false will be false. Here it is false, and this is true. Again, false, true will be false. Now this is the laptop. This is greater than or equal to 25. Yes, so both are true. So your result will be true. Again, false and true, false and true, because here you have don't have Dell laptop, but here value is greater than 25. So again, false true will be false. Here you have Dell laptop and the value is greater than 25. Yes. So true, true, the result will be true. Again, false and this will be also false. So both are false, result will be false. Dell laptop true, value greater than equal to 25. Yes. True, true, result will be true. Here again, false, 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 false. So result will be false. So you have seen that in this place, okay, in this place, in this place, and in this place, both of the condition which you have given for count if s function is true. That's why you get 3. Fine. Now similarly, like in count if this Dell laptop, you can put in capital letters also because it is non-case sensitive, so it will be, then it will be fine. However, you just have to remember one thing: in count if s function, it will count, or you can say it will consider that particular cell based on these both conditions. That means both of these conditions, like here we have two conditions, one is this and second is this, then this both conditions should be true to be considered. Fine. Now the main difference between count if and count if s is what? Count if function is used to count number of cells based on only one condition, whereas you can use COUNTIF else function to count number of cells based on more than one condition. Fine. So I hope now it's clear to you what is count, what is count A, count blank, COUNTIF and COUNTIF S, and how to use these functions. So that's all for today. If you like my video, please like and subscribe my channel. Take care. Goodbye.